It's constantly debated whether or not there are swear words in Japanese. Google Dictionary tells us that a swear word is obscene language that can be considered offensive. By that definition, Japanese definitely has swear words. Let's just assume you want to learn these words so that you can recognise them in media, or if someone uses them against you. Obviously, this list is going to contain profanity, but we'll try and keep it to a minimum. I'm Jun from Japan Junkie, and here's today's list of 10 Japanese swear words. Number 10. We're starting this list off fairly light, and if you've consumed any form of Japanese media, there's a very high chance you've already come across this word. The word baka means stupid, fool, or idiot, and it can be used on its own as a noun, as in he's an idiot, or it can be used as an adjective to describe something or someone. The word is made up of the kanji for horse and deer, which must be a stupid combination. Context is everything, and translations can range from something as inoffensive as dummy to something far more offensive. However, it doesn't work the same way as it does in English when you use it on yourself. People don't usually use phrases like, I'm such an idiot, unless they really mean it. In Japanese, it's more likely to earn uncomfortable silence or people comforting you, telling you not to be so hard on yourself. The fun thing about this word is how easy it is to string many together to emphasize frustration.
Vocabulary.
Number 9. Congratulations on learning the simplest insult. You can now add yaro to step it up to the next level. By itself, yaro is a male insult, literally meaning field guy. Depending on the context, it can mean something like guy or bastard. The exciting thing about yaro is that it can be added to different words to make them more offensive. You can add it to baka and you get baka yaro, which takes idiot to the next level. Just think that adding yaro is like adding bastard to the end of a word or insult. Number 8. Speaking of words to attach to yaro, we now come to one of the most common words for foreigners to learn in Japanese, probably because of its many uses. When you want to say shit or you can say kuso. You can use it on its own as an interjection or when you make a mistake. You can also attach it to words for added effect, similar to how you use fucking in English. You can attach it to a noun to emphasize negativity. In the following example, deka is cop, but kuso deka is fucking cop. Just like with English though, it's not necessarily negative when you add it to an adjective, like oishii is delicious, but kuso oishii is fucking delicious. In the following example, the newsreader accidentally reads a comment that says it's kuso atsui, meaning fucking hot. Just by knowing this word, you may have learned 1% of all the Japanese that you'll need to use. And yes, you can add yaro that you learnt to make kuso yaro. Number 7. The next word simply means you. Not very insulting, is it? The word teme in Japanese context can be very offensive and is really only used if you're ready for a fight. In Japanese, even the polite pronoun for you, anata, can be too abrupt to use in conversation. Teme dials up the insult significantly and is really one of the rudest ways you can address someone. There is one word above it, kisama, but it's so rude that it's almost comical and only really in anime. Using it in real life would be kind of embarrassing. While there's no real English equivalent for teme, translations range from hey you to you motherfucker, though it could also be used playfully with people you're close with. While you might hear it frequently in games, anime and movies, it's a lot stronger to use in real life. Considering there's barely a need to even use the word you in Japanese, using an impolite pronoun is only really used when you're ready to start something, so just be prepared. Number 6. The next word, chikusho, is used mostly as a negative interjection for frustration. The word was originally a Buddhist term, literally meaning beast, as in not a human. Of course, the word barely has any relation to Buddhism anymore. Examples of when you'll hear it include when someone's frustrated, when someone loses at something, or when someone is angry. Number 5. The next word is the Kansai dialect equivalent of baka. Aho also means idiot, but depending on the region it's used in, it can either be more lighthearted or more insulting. It comes from the kanji for flatter and shock. People who are shocked by flattery must be idiots. Funnily enough, aho is also an onomatopoeia, meaning a word that's used to represent a sound or action. And aho represents the sound that a crow makes. Number 4. The next word is used to tell someone to shut up. That word is urusei and comes from the word urusai. Urusai literally means noisy. And it's what you might use to say, wow, this train is noisy. However, it also means annoying and is the equivalent to shut up. It's interesting to see how language influences cultural standards. In Japan, noisy and annoying are the same thing. I guess that's why the trains are so quiet. Changing urusai to urusei makes the word much more forceful and rough, and is almost only used when the person's angry. Urusei is also mostly used by men. Women would be more likely to use the slightly more polite urusai if they wanted to tell someone to be quiet. Number 3. The next word is actually more like a short sentence. The phrase is fuzakeru na and has multiple possible meanings. Fuzakeru means to joke, make fun of, or fool around, and the word is turned into a negative instruction with the ending na. Therefore, this word literally means don't joke. However, depending on the context, you can use fuzakeru na to mean something playful like no way or don't mess around. But with a more malicious tone, the meaning becomes something more like don't fuck with me.
May I ask why?
The examples on this list have largely come from anime and yakuza movies, but that's because it's rare to find examples of swearing in real life. But I'm very thankful to this next politician for providing such a great example for us by losing his temper and telling his co-workers to stop f***ing around. Here we have a real-life example of fuzakeru na.
ふざけるなよお前らほんまに。
Number 2. Sometimes it's best just to be short and sweet. In English, telling someone to shine would be weird, like a stage mother talking to their pageant queen daughter. But this is pronounced shine and simply means die. It is ironic that the English reading of the word sounds like shine, which is a positive thing meaning to radiate light. And yes, this obvious problem is occasionally referred to. For example, in an episode of Detective Conan, an American man tells a Japanese woman he loves that he wants her to shine. She misunderstood and ended her life.
SHINE で shine.
But if you think this unrealistic pun is reserved for anime, here's a real-life example. This mistake was made by the late Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. An article that he had submitted to the media read, Shine, すべての女性が輝く日本へ, with the intended message meaning if Japanese women shine, Japan will shine even more. Of course, all Japanese native speakers read this as the Prime Minister telling all women to die. Number 1. If telling someone to die isn't enough for you, I'm not sure where else you can go after this phrase. Bukkorosu zo means I'm going to murder you. It's a threat that you may hear occasionally in anime and yakuza movies, but I doubt you'll get a chance to hear it in real life. The korosu part means to kill, and the zo part makes it a threat. So you may also hear just korosu zo on its own. But adding the bu specifies that the killing is going to be violent, which is what makes it sound more like I'll murder you. While there have been a lot of examples from anime in this video, yakuza movies are a good way to hear lots of colourful language and a great example of how to roll your R's like a real gangster. However, the dialect can be difficult to hear and understand, and the constant use of guns make it hard to find suitable examples for YouTube without the videos getting taken down, and a bit of creativity is sometimes needed. However, I recommend movies like Outrage if you're interested. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. You can leave a comment with any suggestions you have for future videos, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.